wait for a little bit?
Yeah.
What should we talk about?
I don't know, we can say hello to those that join.
Hello and welcome.
Hello.
Hello everyone. We're just going to take a minute and let everyone join on, get a minute to pop in.
So we've been getting a lot of questions from our last live that we did. What was it, a week and a half ago?
I think it was a week and a half ago. It seems like that was yesterday.
It does. It has been like a complete whirlwind the last few weeks.
It has been. And I hope you can hear me. We haven't had this type of setup where the camera is so far away, so hopefully you can hear what we're saying.
We've got 2 cameras set up, so we're going to try to reach as many of you that were on last time.
Yeah, and we have a few questions we're going to answer, and should we go ahead and start, you think?
Well, let's give it, it's just now 8:30, so let's just give it a few more minutes.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
It's working. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I want to be effective, and I want everybody to be able to hear us. I think that since that last video, there's been so many emotions, and it's kind of like a roller coaster, and we're excited to share those things with all of you guys. I really appreciate it.
Yes. Hello, Marion.
Oh.
We see so many friends on here.
Yes, thank you guys for all your support. Oh my gosh, the support, Adele.
Yeah, let's just talk about that for a second.
Thank you all. Adele and we've been reading everything you're sending us, and it has been everything from notes on our door, in our mailbox, to emails, phone calls, text, and then inboxes in our social media. And it has really made a difference for us, and we can't wait to share what kind of difference it's made, but has really made us feel so much creative in how we're handling this too.
Yeah. So, okay, let's go ahead and get started.
You want to go with the first question?
Well, first we wanted to jump on here because we have had a lot of people reach out saying, I've been really worried and just wondering how you guys are. And we just realized that we left everyone in a bit of sadness with our last video. And so we just wanted to come update everyone because I think it's safe to say we are in a very different place today than we were Monday a week and a half ago.
Yeah, it was like it was more of a mourning. Like it's a loss. It's not losing a family member, but it still felt sort of that way for me.
Yeah, it was like a lot of grief and a lot of pain in seeing that this brand that I have, poured my heart into for the last 8 years is coming to an end. And that's where like the sadness comes in. But we're not stopping there because we know that this is a God thing, and we're going to share just a little bit about that. And we've just seen so many blessings all along the way. Like it's just been really, really incredible. So we did get quite a few questions. So one of them is consecutively is how are we handling everything? It has been, I think we said earlier, it's been a whirlwind of emotions for us. I think probably just to be like completely transparent, the thing that I have struggled with the most is what do people think about me? Just the whole failure thing wants to pop up, and I know it's not true. And I know that the closing of the salon was so much bigger than me failing at something, because it was so evident to us that there was no way to move forward. And so it had to be God really getting our attention to start a new chapter and a new season in our life. And so for me, it's been, what do people think about me? And just not allowing me to get in that headspace, because I'm sure you've all heard of the thing called the thought train, the train of thought, like jumping on that train.
Yes.
And you know,
riding it.
It only takes one thought for me of, oh my gosh, you're a failure. And then I want to jump on that train and I want to go there and I want to just like think about all the victimhood, like things about having to close a salon.
That brings up a point, like some people think that we're miserable because of people or we're miserable because of circumstances, and we're neither. We're miserable because my thoughts make me miserable about people and my thoughts make me miserable about things.
Yeah.
And that's what that thought train is you're talking about. Is
Right.
You jump on it and you ride it and you ride it down. And you and I were just talking 2-3 days ago about this whole thing. What do people think about me? Because I live my life trying to do one of two things. I try to look good or I try not to look bad.
Right.
Those are the two things I try to do. And what lays behind all that is, what do people think about me?
Yeah.
And I was telling you that I have this vision of people looking at me, and they are like a crowd of people looking at me, and I'm on stage.
Yeah.
And they are like, have all this hate and anger and opinions about me. And I feel so like, ineffective.
Yeah.
Like I can't do this because of what they think about me. And then I have this vision that God is calling me and saying, what are you doing down there in those people's opinions? I called you higher than that.
Yeah.
And when I look at it from a different view, when I look at it from a higher view, I see the pain of people's opinions, and all it is their own pain. You know, hurting people hurt people, and when people have different opinions, that's all they are. And when I think about what other people think about me, it cripples me.
Right.
It cripples in me and makes me so ineffective. And when it comes to closing a business that was a successful business, like there's something in me that thinks that, you're ineffective. There's no way that you can do anything else, much less be here, talking to you guys,
Yeah. And like, just hearing you say that, it's so evident, like when I'm hearing him, that is so the enemy, just because God has called us, and we're going to share that in just a minute, that there are some writings on the wall for us. But when we are wrapped up in what do other people think about me and all of that stuff, we can't go live our full potential, and we can't do what God's called us to do. So yeah. So, we, like I said, I don't allow those thoughts to creep in, because when I do, it's so easy for me to go down that slippery slope. And so that, like, my biggest way of getting through this is I have picked out 2 specific verses that really speak to me. And when those things creep in, like, I have those verses ready to go, because it works every single time. And yeah, it's been a saving grace for me. So another question that we got quite a bit is, what has been the biggest challenge in closing? And we actually just covered that with, what do people think? So are we going to stay in the beauty industry?
I love this industry. I love the salon and spa industry, and you guys know I'm not a stylist.
Right.
But I really love this industry, and so we will stay in it in different capacities. Not owning a salon, and Adelle's not going to be doing hair.
Yeah.
What we will do is help other salon owners and other stylists with either mentoring them, coaching them, teaching, that sort of thing. It's a passion of ours to just help and make a difference in the salon and spa industry.
Yeah, so I want to just talk about, the next question is what's next for us. And like Travis was saying, we do love the beauty industry, and I'm very, very passionate about women, specifically with thinning hair, and I love every part of it. And I really realized that I ended up with a salon that I never wanted to begin with. And that's been really hard for me to face, of like, how did I become unhappy in my own brand? And I've really just had the opportunity to look at that for the first time. So since our shutdown after COVID, there have been so many changes and so many things that we really didn't have options with, especially when it came to the health and safety of guests and trying to serve and be a part of the service industry. Like, a lot of things were put on us as owners that we never wanted to begin with. And also just having a team of a lot of people. We had 17 team members in March of 2020. And really working with every single person in their own way after COVID became extremely challenging. And for us, I just noticed how when limits were pushed in the salon, whether it be guests or team members or like whatever it was, limits were being pushed in all different directions, and new guidelines had to be created, new rules, new this, new that. And I just really ended up with a salon that I was like, I don't even want to work here. And I never even took a moment to look at that. And so now that I can really see, like, there's so much about my brand that I just love, and would do it exactly the same way. But there's so many other things that got forced on us through this last year and a half that we never wanted. And I think all of that was for a purpose. And now I know it was God allowing me to really disconnect my heart, because I was so wrapped up in it, and I would have never walked away. Like, no matter what, I would have stuck it out and I would have made it work. And that's not what God's plan is for us this time. So yeah, just seeing it come to an end like that abruptly really gave us the opportunity to go, whoa, what is this? And so actually back in March, this is what's next for us. And it's been happening since 2019. We just didn't realize that, the time would be so soon.
Yeah.
So back in March, Travis and I went to a marriage conference, and we really felt called by the Lord to go into marriage ministry. It's something that we love, are very passionate about. Our own story is very dynamic, and it really, I just have so much passion for couples and communication and love in a marriage. So anyways, we were like, okay, God, like, how is that going to work? We really felt like he was saying, go ahead, do it on the side. So we did. In 2019, you created the Noble Project is what it's called. And in the project, it has a lot of different facets in it. And one of those, and what we're going to focus on, is the noble marriage. And so the project has like 11 books in it, and it has all these different facets and some really amazing courses that we already have developed. And so it just makes sense that as the salon was falling apart and not working, we were really feeling God saying, don't wait to start on something that you're passionate about. And so we've been just doing it on the side for fun here and there. And so that's what's next for us. We are extremely ready to just go step out into the unknown, which is really scary at the same time. But it's just so much trust and faith that this is the right next step for us. And yeah, I'm just really excited.
I agree. We had a marriage for 12 years that didn't work.
Yeah.
And now we know a lot more about ourselves and a lot more about marriage, and we have such a passion for marriages now, just a huge passion, especially those marriages in crisis.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't know exactly what that looks like, but we're excited about the journey. And man, I have been more creative than I've ever been. And another question that I was asked, Adelle, was about our peace.
Yeah.
You seem like you have so much peace and joy, and how is that possible? And it's true. I mean, the circumstances are tough. You know, that was, I tell people, that was our paycheck.
Yeah, that was our livelihood. Like
we shut down a company that
gone.
we get a paycheck at, and now that's gone. And I'm still filled with joy and peace because our faith, is so much stronger than our circumstances. And that's how we're able to get through. And what's really awesome about that is when that's the case, I am being very creative because I have an open heart. And when that's not the case, I become a victim and I close my heart and I can't be creative and I can't take next steps that would be effective for myself and my family and what God called me to do.
Yeah. So
we're excited.
We are really excited, and we have just appreciated all of the encouragement. I mean, I have literally felt like we have been carried through this whole thing. I had no idea that there were so many of you that cared so much. It's been so overwhelming to read all the messages and just hear your hearts, and so many salon owners just pouring their hearts out of being in the same place and just not knowing what to do. And I just thank you so much for each one of you that have shared with us and encouraged us and loved us throughout this entire process. It has been the most amazing experience that I could not have asked for it to go better. It's been so smooth. And I believe that that's also the faith of a mustard seed can move mountains. And we have really seen that happen in so many ways. But something that we are asking for is that all of you will pray that the salon sells. That is the one piece that we're still waiting on, and we're very excited to see how God plays this whole thing out. There's multiple people interested, and so we're really, really excited to see where all that goes.
Yeah. It'll be a blessing for someone.
Yeah.
Such an amazing space.
Yeah, it is.
It really is.
So thank you all so much for joining us tonight.
I want to add something.
Oh, okay.
I've talked to so many small business owners since this has happened.
Yeah.
And I just want to share, from my heart. We didn't talk about this, and I didn't plan on saying anything about this, but I just wanted to share from my heart. Man, my heart goes out to you. I've cried with several of you over the last week and a half over phone calls, and my heart goes out to you as a small business owner. It is it's extremely tough, and I get it. And so, man, keep your head up and keep going on and keep faith, because that's the only thing that got us through.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah,
and
thank you all.
Good night.